Happy New Year, everybody! Welcome to 2024. It's your host, Joe Ciccoletti and Blaine Spencer here with the Final Whistle Sports Podcast. We are back. It's another year. Joe, Happy New Year. How you doing?
Happy New Year, my man. Happy New Year to the listeners out there as well. I'm doing terrific as usual. Doing terrific as usual. Another sunny day here on the East Coast. Little winter storm coming our way, but that ain't gonna stop me. That ain't gonna stop me. Wanted to give a quick shout out, Blaine, before I ask you how you're doing though. Shout out to Jersey Jerry. My man got a hole in one today. Finally, after 1 day and 13 hours, over 2,500 golf shots on the sim. Kudos to that man, because that was an impressive watch. I loved every second of it. I tuned in last night. Casey went to sleep. I tuned in to Jersey Jerry. I got it on the screen. The man is struggling, down and out, sleeping. Big Cat brought him a blizzard. They brought a chiropractor in, a masseuse. They had an IV going. It was incredible. Tom Brady even tweeted up. The GOAT, Tom Brady tweeted up. It was incredible stuff. And Blaine, if you missed it, I'm sorry. It was primetime television. You needed to tune in.
I 110% missed it because that is
Oh,
something I do not need to see. How far was what was the yardage? What was the yardage on the par three?
so he started 2 nights ago. Two nights
Okay.
ago at 10 o'clock. He does Jersey Jerry after dark. So like he'll do all these different
Sure.
things.
Great show,
So
by the way.
yeah, so he does this and he starts with the sim. He only thought he was going to be there a couple hours, like 4 hours, and he would get it. Well, he like goes through the night, doesn't get it at all. Um, and he kept switching courses, like trying to find different pins, this and the other thing. Eventually, he just stuck with Pebble Beach, the par three, the like, what's that, 11 or 7? Which one? I think it's
Seven,
7.
seven.
7.
The like the 95 yarder.
Correct. The 95-yard par 3 7. Multiple times. Like, I'm pretty sure last night he like was maybe an inch away from the hole at one point, like 2 inches away. And like, look, he's not like a great golfer by any means. He's like a 50-55 score, maybe 57 on
Hmm.
nine, I'm saying. So, like, it's not great. It's not good. It's not bad. But you just kept kind of rooting for the guy, right? Like he was just fighting through it. Last night, he didn't go to bed until like 11 o'clock, slept there at the sim, woke up 9, 10 o'clock, got right back at it, got stretched out by the masseuse, and then hit the hole in one, I guess, around 11:30 Eastern Standard Time. So kudos to him, man. Kudos to him.
I can't believe that you watched that for that long.
Dude, he was getting shout outs from everybody. Like Paige Sporadic called in, like Brooks Koepka was calling in. I
Brooks
think
was definitely
Tom,
making fun of him.
no, like at one point he was just like, keep it going, man. Like you gotta get it. You gotta stick it out now. Um, Max Homa like was reaching out to him. Like a lot of these like big time celebrities, Denny Hamlin, like what the race car driver was reaching out to him. Yeah, he was like all over people reaching
He
out
just
to him
brought he
constantly.
just brought the sports world together in the last
Bro,
48
it
hours.
was unbelievable. Like people were loving it. Like everybody from ESPN like tweeted when he hit it. Like a lot of the PGA like sent videos to him after it. Like it was incredible, incredible stuff, man. Incredible stuff.
I'm gonna have to go watch it now, and I'm gonna
So
not skip it to the end probably
so
though.
here's my thing, and that's why I wanted to talk to you and bring you up, and that's why I brought it up. Is how long do you think it would take for you to get a hole in one? Like if I stuck you on a course, and now
In
maybe
a sim or on a golf course?
I'd rather stick you on a course
Okay.
because I think it's tougher on a course
Oh,
than
without
probably a sim,
question. Without
right?
question.
So I'm gonna stick you on a course. You pick the yardage, 100 plus, right? You could change it. You can go up, you can go down. Got to be over 100, right? It's got to be.
Okay.
How long you taking?
All
Like
right, so let's
realistically.
realistically probably like if I'm going for as long as I think I would be going, I'm definitely going longer than how longer than he did.
Yeah.
But I'm confident in my ability to get it done in a week.
Okay. Yeah. I think like three
I'm gonna
days,
yeah, around there, 3 to 5.
3 days, three to
Nice
four
little
days.
business work week type deal.
Yeah, like 3 to 4 days, you're gonna get close, right? There's got to be times where you throw the dart in, you're like, oh, you know.
Oh, I
But
already
if you
know what
got
I'm hitting, baby. 120 yards, stock pitching wedge. Dial it in, go for it.
now, see, the problem is like stock pitching wedge, right? But like you get to like 100 yard, or like you go to 120. Now, what happens when you start getting tired?
Oh, then hit it down to a chippy 9 iron.
All right. See, like I'd rather just stick with like the 110, and I'd rather try to just take half swings like on my 52 or something like that.
All right, all right, all right.
Sit,
That's fair.
conserve the energy, right? Maybe control the ball flight a little bit more. But
No,
I think it's like a 3.5 dayer kind of thing.
that even for you, 3.5 dayer.
Yeah, 3.5 days. I've never gotten a hole in one on a certified par three. Never got one.
Where would you go to go do your par three? Where would you go play? Do you got a course in mind?
Probably local course.
Okay,
Probably local course.
because
Somewhere.
the greens.
Yeah, like like if it's if it's sitting on the right side or left side, you're like, all right, I got to try to aim here, and hope for the best, right? Um, yeah, I think that's got to be a local course. I'm not going to go to like a famous course. Like, what the hell's that going to do for me?
Go
I'm
take
just
on go take on the island green.
yeah. It's like yeah, why would I do that? Now I got to deal with the ocean and the breeze. Forget about it. Get the heck out of here.
Well,
Unbelievable.
if you guys want to see us put that to the test, Joe's local course, call him up. He's ready.
Jesus. Want to sleep. I gotta bring the sleeping bag out there, bring a tent.
Oh, you would 100% camp knowing
I
you.
gotta I gotta bring people, like people will be playing through. Yeah, yeah, just go ahead, just go ahead, just go ahead. Meanwhile, there's like 1,000 golf balls on the course.
On the green. It's not even like you've made it to the tee. It's
Yeah,
just
they're
on the
just
green.
on the green. Yeah, they're just on the green. Now, what is the odds gotta be like to get it on the first try?
Oh, it's gotta be like, oh
Gotta
my
be
God.
the odds gotta be higher than winning the lottery, right?
Oh, I think so. What's over a billion? Trillion, then it's what? Quartillion.
I think it's too high for me.
Yeah, so I can't go past it. It's gotta be like a 1 in a trillion type thing.
Like first try, just
Oh
step up,
yeah. Just
bang.
step up, banga. It is higher than the lottery, though. I did see that statistic. That is harder than the lottery.
Okay. Yeah, it's interesting, right? And when you get that feeling, it's got to feel incredible. You know, you just got to
Have you
feel
have
like
you have you ever made one?
not on a regulation golf course. I have on a par three course.
Ah, that don't count.
Yeah, so I don't count. I don't really count it. But I just say regulation because people will be like, "Oh, well, I got it on par three course." Like, yeah, so did I, but I don't really count it as like a traditional par three.
What would be your celebration? What are we doing as soon as it goes in?
Oh, I'm running. I'm running to the hole. Especially if I could see it. Like if I could see it, I'm running to the hole. Like I'm full fledged running to the hole. No
I'm
questions
definitely
about it.
doing like the ride your golf club like a horse slapping my ass type thing. Hey!
Yeah, I feel it. I like that. But yeah, I'm running toward both Achilles on the run, probably. Pop the
You
hamstring.
fall 3 times, couple somersaults.
Absolutely. Tony Finau cracked the ankle. You know what I mean? And then we're making it there. We're gonna crawl there if we got to, dude. So
Oh man,
yeah,
I
but
love it.
shout out Jersey Jerry for doing it. It was a hell of a watch, and he gained a lot of followers and a lot of subscribers because of it. I'll tell you that. So
Hey, you do what you gotta do for the brand.
yeah,
For the
true
brand.
that, true that, true that. So all right, Blaine, let's get into it. Little college football playoff. Let's start off with the first game, the Rose Bowl, taking place in beautiful California. The Michigan Wolverines took on the Alabama Crimson Tide. John Harbaugh. versus
Jim
Nick.
Harbaugh, you dummy.
Oh, Jim Harbaugh. I apologize, folks.
You've ruined already this episode.
Jim
It's over.
Jim Harbaugh versus Nick Saban. The battle, and Jim Harbaugh pulls it out, beating the Alabama Crimson Tide in overtime. Blaine, thoughts on the game? What did you think? A little bit of a slower game, which is what Vegas kind of predicted.
Yep.
In overtime, they went. Michigan able to run the ball, score it at the end. Alabama had a couple opportunities to score, got shut down on fourth down. What was the thoughts on the play call at the end of the game and the overall game itself?
Yeah. Great football game. I thought this game was a very much a tale of two halves, right? First half, Michigan came out kind of flying. They were swarming the football. Alabama really didn't feel like they had caught up to the speed of the game in the moment yet. And Michigan kind of jumped on them a little bit, got up on Alabama early. It was 13-7. Then Alabama made that last second drive to end the half, to cut it to 3 with that long field goal by Reichard. That felt like a little momentum shift there. That because then in the second half, it was all Alabama until Michigan had the ball with 3 minutes left. It felt like Alabama had a chance to put that game away. And a Nick Saban team, 99% of the time, does. Right?
Yeah.
In that moment, I had no intention of thinking Michigan was getting the ball back. I thought, all right, Alabama's going to drive this ball, get this under like a minute, minute and a half, take a couple knees. That's all she wrote. Then Michigan makes a huge stop in the fourth quarter on that fourth quarter there. Got the ball with like 3 minutes left. Couple of huge chunk plays early. And then the touchdown, the dude was wide open to tie things up. Honestly, we were screaming to go for 2. We were telling Harbaugh, go for the win. I was one of those guys. I said, close it out now. You do not want Alabama hanging around here. You close it out. You rely on that defense that has been your identity all year long. But they didn't. They proved me wrong. Went to overtime. And then, like you said, Michigan got the ball first. Huge play by Corum on the second play of that drive. And then it came down to Alabama trying to make a stand. Alabama's offense versus Michigan's defense. As a Notre Dame fan, Tommy Rees is now the coordinator at Alabama. I could have told you that freaking fourth down play before we
Oh, I
even
think
ran it.
everybody knew.
Everybody knew that Milroe was not going to throw the ball.
I think everybody knew Milroe was running the ball no matter
Oh, that's
what.
what I mean. We all knew he wasn't going to throw.
Yeah.
But you got to. This is what bothers me. I get it. I think where the ball was is what threw off the play call, right? Because Milroe's a right-handed QB. He's not a great passer rolling out to his left. He's a very good deep ball thrower. And then when he rolls to his right? When he rolls to his left, he's going to run it's like something ridiculous, like 75% of the time, some statistic like that, right?
Sure.
But you got to give him at least you got to give them a look that he's going to potentially throw it, right?
Well, they
I thought that
tried
was
to. They tried to. Didn't they go
no,
four wide?
no, it was a quarterback counter.
Yeah, but didn't they go like 4 wide?
They went 3 wide. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
I mean,
they didn't roll him out. You gotta roll him out to give Michigan the threat that he may throw the ball.
yeah, yeah,
And Michigan, you could see it. They blitzed the run. They guessed on it. Alabama got no push. Their own dude tackled Milroe in the backfield, right? Because he got pushed off the line of scrimmage so bad. I don't know. For me, like, you got to give that threat of run or pass. You have a lethal running quarterback in Milroe, which I understand why you're going to put the ball in his legs, right? The man's elite when he's got the ball in open space. But you got to at least show a threat. And you could tell as soon as he was in the gun and he tried to go into like a traditional step back that he was going to run the ball.
yeah. I think big time loss, the reason why they lost, or at least a big reason why they lost, their center could not snap the ball.
Oh, he was
Could not
awful.
snap the ball at all. There was multiple times that ball was low, ball was high, ball was out to the right, ball was out to the left. Like there was no consistency. Like, all right, if you're gonna miss to the right, like just stay missing to the right to give Milrow that opportunity. Like, all right, ball's gonna be here, ball's gonna be here. There was that last drive, even in overtime, even the last snap of the game, it
Yep,
wasn't a
caught it
good snap
sideways. Yep.
at all. And I'm like, dude, you got to figure it out. Like you start everything. If your snaps off, the play's shot, right? You give an extra half a second to the defensive end coming around the corner. And
Yep.
that's why they were getting pressure on him so much easier on Milrow. I can't put the blame on Milrow for, didn't really have a great game, I thought. But
No.
um, but like I just thought the center just sucked, plain and simple. He just didn't do what he's supposed to do. And a lot of times, right, like you're gonna blame people when they're at their worst, but you're never gonna really accept like that they had a great game when they're at their best, right? Like the best ever do is Creed Humphrey and in the NFL, I'm saying, and Jason Kelsey, but like we never talk like how great they're doing because they snap the ball great every time. You just only talk about when they mess up a snap, right? Like so this is when you see it in this Alabama game. It's just like the center, like, you kind of start everything, right? But on the flip side, I thought Blake Crone played phenomenal. He was running the hell out of the ball for Michigan, following his blocks. Like I was watching him, especially that last touchdown in overtime. Like he follows right off the tackle, does a little juke spin move to get out,
Insane jump cut. Insane.
and then he scored. Reminds me a little bit of Doug Martin. A little Doug Martin action. All right. Quick move, catch the ball out of backfield a little bit. Little guy, got some good speed to him. He might transition to the NFL in a way, third down back to start, but he played phenomenal. I thought McCarthy played solid. Got worried after the first ball he threw though. That first ball I thought was an INT. I was like, whoa.
He threw a duck out there.
I was like, what are you doing? Like, you got to throw that ball out of bounds, like in the stands out of bounds.
Right.
Momentum, I thought, boom, was going to switch Alabama. Ended up being out of bounds. Guy stepped out of bounds. Boom, goes right back to Michigan because Michigan's like, yeah, we got lucky there. Right. Or we got lucky. But like, I think you hit the nail right on the head. It was a tale two halves. Alabama is a second half team, and you had a feeling that they were going to come out of that locker room hot and ready to go, getting that ball, getting a rock and roll, and needed to score early. Being down 13-10 at half, and I think Vegas had it pretty lined up. The over under was 44, so they pretty much hit it on the money when overtime came. But yeah, solid game, good game to watch. And then let's talk about this. How about the punt? Or was it the punt or the kickoff? And the guy ended up snagging it at the 1 yard line, the end of the fourth quarter for Michigan. I was like, whoa, we're going to get some special team mistakes now.
Well, Michigan was making special teams mistakes the entire game.
Yeah. Yep. The field
goal. Missed a couple of field goals, the PAT. Yep.
There was a lot of special teams there for Michigan. And then some center issues on the Alabama side. So a lot of issues. Michigan will, get it figured out come this Monday on National Championship Monday. They'll get it figured out. McCarthy will be good. What's up?
I was just going, oh, you're good. I don't know if Michigan. I don't know if Michigan will have it figured out for Monday.
All right. But yeah, I think McCarthy, proved his point. I saw his record is it like 29-1 or something like that?
It's something absurd.
Collegiate career. Tied with Jameis Winston, the W. Jameis Winston. So I know Harbaugh said he is the best quarterback to ever play college ball.
All right, Jim. Whatever you were having down there in Pasadena to celebrate, let's relax a little bit, huh?
Yeah. All right, Blaine. Let's move to the late game. the Texas Longhorns took on Washington Huskies in a shootout game, to say the least.
Yep.
37-31, Washington Huskies pulled it out. Michael Penix looked incredible, man, slinging the rock all over the place, hitting dots all over. It was an incredible, incredible QB performance. 430 yards in the air, 2 touchdowns as well. Blake, Texas didn't look good. I don't know how they came back, but they didn't look good. They had a chance at the end. It was through a duck of a ball in the end zone. Got squatted out. What was your thoughts on the game? You think Washington proved themselves really to hold their own and win the game, or Texas just flat out sucked?
I think the game went kind of how I honestly anticipated it. I had UW winning this game, but I knew whoever had the ball last was going to have an opportunity to win it. And that's exactly what happened, right? Game kind of went out early, right? We knew this game had shootout written all over it. Both teams very mediocre on the defensive end, is kind of putting it kindly, right? Based off of and how they've performed all year. And my family and I, when we were watching, we were talking about it, right? Like, we were calling it almost like every possession that there was a stop, like a mini break. Like almost like how it works in like tennis, like stuff like that, like a break situation. Like, oh my God, there's a stop by Washington. Washington started like on that first possession, right? Texas got the ball first. Ooh, right out of the bat, Washington gets a stop. That's a mini break already. Washington went down the field, put themselves in front, and they kind of front ran the whole game. But Texas, kudos to them. They responded every chance that Washington was trying to put the game away. Texas answered the call. We ain't going to go down without swinging, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just that simple cliche. 21-21 at the half. Honestly, 37-31, I had it like 45-42 after the halftime score. I was like, no one's going to get a stop.
Yeah.
But then the third quarter ended up being the difference of the game, right? Washington shuts out Texas in that third quarter. And like you said, Michael Penix was a baller in that game. We always knew that Washington, arguably this year, had the best receiving core in the country, top to bottom, because they have like 4 lethal speed demons at wide receiver. Arguably a wide receiver that people have on some people's mocks higher than Marvin Harrison Jr. and Roma Odunze, right? Like it's going to be Marvin Harrison's probably going to go before him, but Odunze is not that far behind. It is 1A and 1B. Like, that's how good this kid is.
Yeah, I don't know about 1A, 1B. I'll give you 1 and 2, but
I mean, Odunze is higher on some boards.
buddy, have you seen Marvin Harrison?
I have seen Marvin Harrison. I will pick Marvin Harrison over Odunze. I'm just relaying information that I'm seeing, okay?
Yeah, just the messenger,
Yes, just the messenger. And then you have Jalen Polk. Then you also have Jalen McMillan. Just those 3 guys alone are going to be a top 3 round pick at the wide receiver position when they come out, right? And then you have Dylan Johnson at running back for Washington. And then I thought the game was over in the fourth quarter once Washington went up 10 or 13, excuse me. But then the same issue with Washington this year has been that they love to go for the kill shot, right? They couldn't care less about slowing the game down and trying to mold clock. And it brought Texas right back into the game, especially when Texas fumbled that second time. They could have ran at least 4 minutes off of that clock. What'd they do? Bang, bang, bang. 3 passes, 3 and out. Texas gets the ball back, went right back down the field and scored.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the game should have been over, right? Because Texas didn't get the onside kick. but then Washington's guy got hurt, so that counts as a timeout. And then everything kind of unleashed there because Washington decided, yo, we'll play man to man on the outside. Who cares about that prevent defense? We're gonna bring the ponies up man to man.
Yep.
Got burnt twice.
Yep.
And then
Yep.
down at the 10-yard line, Texas couldn't come through. I mean, Texas had that game won on that 4th down. If the receiver didn't turn around, if you watch the play from the quarterback's like vision, like behind the QB, the safety, the corner that made the play is 7 yards in the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
If the wide receiver looks at that and goes, yo, I'm going to hit a back shoulder and turn my head quick, Ewers is throwing a dime for a touchdown. But because the wide receiver wasn't looking, if you watch the game again, he's not looking. So Ewers has to hold the ball, and all he could do is throw a jump ball and hope.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great. Honestly, you know what who the real winners are? Those 12 members in the college football committee room.
Oh
Because
yeah.
they're like, Florida State, I'm sorry, but right there just proved that we were right.
Yep. Yep. But they were even talking, the odds maker in Vegas said if Georgia would have been a national championship versus Michigan, they actually would have been favored.
Oh yeah, Georgia's still. I think Georgia's still the best team in the country, but we won't get to see them.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you beat a team by 60 I mean, Florida State played their third stringers, but
Yeah, that I don't take much from them. I don't take much from them bowl games now, man. They're just not the same. They're just not the same. They don't
the
have that
parody
much
of college
lackluster.
football. It's the
What's that?
parody now of college. It's the parody now of college football
Yeah.
with NIL, the portal. Like, unless there's going to be like some stricter guidelines, this is the new norm of college football. Like Georgia, Kirby said, "You guys ain't allowed to sit out. Like y'all are playing."
Mm-hmm.
In Florida State, half of 20, it was something ridiculous. I think it was 20 of their 24 starters did not play.
Something like that. Some wild like that.
Yeah.
Um, I think Michael Penix got something to prove, and I think he has a chance to really shoot up draft boards with a great performance in the national championship. He has a chance potentially to be a top 5 pick, not alone, a top 10 or top 15 where they have it kind of settled in right now. He has a chance to be a top 5 pick, to be up with that potentially Drake May and Caleb Williams talk if he has a good or great national championship game, I think.
I think that's a fair statement, but I'm going to throw a question at you. Does his age affect his draft stock because he's a 6-year player?
I think, of course, it does, right? Like, that was the conversation I've had, throughout this period with him and Bo Nix, right? Like, him and Bo Nix have played incredible ball, but they're also 23, 24 years old, right? Caleb's 22, 21, I
Yeah.
think. Drake May also, near the same age.
Yeah.
That's where that issue with the transfer portal comes into play now, right? This whole transfer portal thing is great on the surface to allow some of these guys to get new opportunities elsewhere, get playing time, and potentially rise their stock there. But for instance, if you don't get a chance to play until you're a sophomore or junior, then you're already kind of getting put behind the 8 ball a little bit, a year or two behind. We're not probably going to see another quarterback like Lamar Jackson come into the league at 19 years old. That's what I'm getting at. We're not going to see that, right? Justin Fields is 23, 24 years old. He has 3 years of experience now. And you got a guy, Michael Penix and Bo Nix, coming in at 23 as well, who has zero experience in the NFL. So that transfer portal is kind of weird, right? It's good and bad. That's what I think. It's good for kids in college trying to, find different programs, find the way for them to fit in. But it's bad on the NFL surface because you're getting them guys that might be a little bit older, year, 2, 3 years, and that could be a difference maker for them in their career.
Right. And then for like
So
Penix, right? He got injured for those 2 years before he transferred to Washington these last 2 years because arguably, he doesn't get hurt, he probably stays at Indiana, right? Like he had that COVID year where we had the shortened season. Indiana finished their best ranking in college football. Like it was like 25, 30 years because of him. But the injury bug got him, and then he got the eligibility in UW, and now the rest is history. He's been phenomenal these last 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Granted, it does help to have, potentially the second best wide receiver coming out in the NFL right now. And then you said another couple dogs in there as well. So it does help to have that as well.
Yeah. Who you got
But
winning?
who do I got winning? I got
Who you
Michigan
got?
Wolverines. Michigan Wolverines are winning. Defense is elite. They got a very good quarterback still, and they're able to run the rock. They're able to run the rock. It's the success formula for the NFL or for football in general.
Go dogs, baby. Go dogs.
Look,
I'm
I'm
rolling Huskies,
rooting for
baby.
Washington
I'm
because
rolling Huskies.
I'm hoping. Like I want to see Penix go ball out. I want to
Yo,
see him ball out.
honestly, especially in college football, especially these last couple of years, it's not the defense that's been the difference of games. It's which offense is gonna produce at the highest level.
But
And
I
I'm
think
taking the team.
like you got to think right. Like Washington's offense is probably better than
Right.
Michigan's offense, but
But
it's not.
Michigan's defense is also
Is
leaps and
severely better.
bounds than Washington's defense.
Correct. Like you got to realize, Michigan scored 27 points against Alabama's defense, who's still an SEC defense. They weren't as good as what they were the last couple of years, but you're still getting an SEC defense, right? Michigan scored 27 points still. What are they going to do against a Pac-12 defense? Come on now. Come
I
on.
got 33-30, Washington.
Wow.
I'll even give you a score. 33-30, because Washington's going to have the ball last.
I think
Michael Penix will have his moment.
I hope he does. I got 33-24 Michigan.
It's fair. Yeah. It's going to be in the 30s. It's because we know Washington can't stop nobody.
Yeah, absolutely. No shot. No shot. All right, Blaine. Let's switch some gears here. Let's get to the pros.
Well, what you want to talk about?
NFL, baby. That's what we're talking about here.
You
That's
know
what?
What? First, before we start that, the audacity from you to text me that the Washington Commanders are going to have trade for the number 1 overall pick and pick another quarterback. Outrageous. I'm extremely disappointed in you that you want to rile me up like this, because now I'm agitated. There are so many more problems on this godforsaken football team, and I'm going to watch the game on Sunday because Sunday's our Super Bowl and we got to beat the freaking Cowboys to ruin their year. But
hold up.
Come on. Out. We can't be taking a quarterback. We got too many other problems.
I understand you got too many other problems. But to say you're potentially going to get a generational type quarterback, why not?
The last time we did that, the guy broke his leg. We broke our own guy's knee.
That was Washington's fault. That wasn't his fault.
I wholeheartedly agree. But you know who we're dealing with. It's my team, and we figure out ways to screw it up.
Well, you also got rid of, I think, the biggest problem of all.
Daniel.
Yeah. So I think we're on a better track right now. I think that's your first thing. So
I think there's a very high chance we trade down. That's what we gotta do. Trade down, get assets.
That's fair. I just think it all comes down to what you think of Sam Howell. That's the ultimate question, and I think that leads into a perfect opportunity.
Oh crap! We're gonna take a quarterback. Oh my gosh!
I think that leads us into a perfect opportunity, Blaine, to talk about the quarterbacks on the hot seat.
All right. Should we start with Sammy Howell?
Let's start with Sam Howell.
Sam Howell. See ya. Good night. See ya. He's gone.
Let's talk about
Washington's gonna clean house. So that means no coach, no OC, no DC, no quarterback.
Okay. Let's talk about what we're gonna do here. So we're gonna talk about We're going to see which quarterback's on the hot seat. You want to either give a number or do you want to say cut, see another year, or extend? What do you want to do?
Let's do the three. Let's do the
Okay.
three options.
All right, so cut, another
Sammy
year, or extend. Sam
Sammy
Howell.
Howell is getting his butt cut.
Cut.
I don't think he'll get cut. I think he'll be the backup, but I don't think he's the starter. So can I do what I say cut there then?
Yeah, you go cut then. That's fine.
All right, he's probably getting cut.
I'm going to go with extend.
Vet?
I'm going to go with extend.
Oh,
Here's my
Joseph.
reasoning why. Has thrown a lot of picks. You are correct. But the flashes are there. The ball placement is there. And if they do what you're saying and trade back and get pieces, I think this team could be in a different ball game. And I don't think he throws the 19 interceptions that he has now thrown.
Is Jacoby Brissett starting this week, or is it Hal again?
No, it's Halligan. So
I
I'm
love
going to
how
go
he
with
tried to
extend.
bench him and then Brissett gets hurt.
Yeah, that was good stuff. That was good stuff. So, all right,
All
Blaine,
right,
what do we got? Let's go to the next one.
you know, let's go. Let's go to your team next. Let's go down to the ATL.
Yep.
Desmond Ritter.
Cut.
No answer, just cut.
After that throw that he had in Carolina, cut. Like, I, I got no words. Just cut.
Okay. I think Desmond will also be cut.
All right.
I don't think he's done enough. I think Arthur Smith knows he's going to be, if he doesn't get the can this year, which I don't think he will, I think they're going to give him one more year, which means he needs to make a statement next year. And that means a new quarterback to try and show something for this team. All right.
Okay.
Next one. Justin Fields. The Chicago Bears have kind of turned it around. What will Chicago do?
You go first. You can go.
I believe that Ryan Pace will not screw this up. And I think they will extend Justin Fields because he has finally showed some significant glimpses of when this team really clicks if he gets utilized the correct way. The man's been balling this last month. No one can really deny that either. The man's been balling. But I feel like the option is better to stick with Fields than have to blow it all up again, especially now with the rumor saying Eberflus is his job safe. And now this team arguably could be at 8 wins if they beat Green Bay this weekend. How can you not keep him at that point?
It's not going to be cut. It's going to be trade.
Okay.
So it's going to be. And here's my reasoning why. And I'm going to be. Is it Poles? Right? Is the GM?
Well, he's an idiot.
He's not an idiot. Smart man.
Uh,
Poles. Here's the reason why. You got the first overall pick. You take Caleb Williams. You get him on a rookie contract deal now. You know he's a franchise quarterback. He can make all the throws. Justin Fields is barely on the field. First problem. Second problem. He's going into year 4 next year of his contract and will need an extension. The extension is supposed to be $45 million a year for a guy that's on the field 8 out of 16 games of the year. Right? Yes. Where when you draft Caleb Williams, you now have him for 5 years. 5 years of rookie deals. Yes, you will lose out on the draft capital that comes with that first overall pick and keeping Justin Fields then. But I think by letting him go and trading him, it will be best. And it would only shoot them in the foot if they do trade it away. And he is only what his QBR is as a 15th best quarterback since he has played. QBR, I'm saying QBR. And if that trend continues, this team isn't a Super Bowl team. So that's why he should be traded. or cut. I guess trade cut.
All right, if you get to, where is he? Where are you trading him? Where's Poles trading him?
ATL, baby, he's coming to ATL. Coming to ATL. I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Let's
All
get
right,
it done.
next one. This one seems like the answer is pretty blatant, but Russell Wilson.
Yeah, isn't the answer cut?
Yeah, because they probably won't be able to trade him. So
Yeah. Now where now the flip side, I guess, is where would you like him to go? Like a good landing spot potentially.
shit, we'll take him. Washington will take him. No, I think a good, honestly, a good landing spot. I feel like, man, I mean, he's gonna have to take a huge pay cut, right? So I'm trying to think. Honestly, I don't hate Las Vegas. I don't
Yeah,
hate
that's my
that.
second choice in Vegas for him.
I don't hate Las Vegas.
Yeah,
I think I think that's doable, right? It's going to be a new coach. You bring him in. I think that'll hold Devontae potentially over because Aiden O'Connell ain't the answer.
no, no. Feel bad for the guy,
Um,
but no, he's not the answer.
yeah.
He's my
I think
second.
okay.
That's my second
What's
team.
your top one?
He's heading to the East Coast and he's going to Pittsburgh. Goes
Ooh,
to the Steelers because I know there's another hot seat quarterback, and that's Kenny Pickett probably on here. But
he was going to be the next one. Good
you know,
segue.
but Russell Wilson going to the Steelers, getting a guy like Mike Tomlin as his head coach, guy that's respected throughout the league. And they are still a run first offense. And and they're able to throw the rock. They have a solid O line and one of the best defenses in the league. I think he fits Steelers like perfectly.
Yeah, I
So
don't hate that. I don't hate that. So that means if Russ is going to Pittsburgh, what are they doing with Kenny Pickett?
I just think like they either move on or he goes to a backup role. Like I don't know, right? Like
Do
I
you
just
feel like Mason Rudolph potentially, if they somehow sneak in, that this is now an open competition next year?
for Mason Rudolph and Kenny Pickett.
If they don't get another quarterback, right? I feel like you can't ignore what Mason's done, especially if they put up another 30 piece, but Baltimore might not. I don't, doesn't sound like Baltimore's playing anybody, but
No, I mean it seems like to me Tomlin's already kind of made his decision this year. All right,
it's
Kenny Pickett's
Rudolph the
healthy.
rest of the, it's Rudolph the rest of the way is what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, like we're rolling with the hot hand of Rudolph right now, and if Kenny Pickett's healthy, it doesn't matter. He's going to be the backup.
Right,
So yeah, I think it's open competition. Sure, I just think they just need a better quarterback though.
right.
Like I don't think them two guys are your starting quarterbacks in 2024.
I think that's fair. I think it's a fair statement. All
Yeah,
right. Last, we'll do one more. We'll do one more. Do
sure.
you have one? All right, I've got one more. Do you have a name you had on your mind?
No, but I got to bring up somebody at the end. So go ahead.
All right, Mac Jones.
Oh, yeah, buddy, you're getting cut. You're getting cut. Getting cut.
Yeah, he's gonna get cut, and it's gonna be I think it's gonna be a blow it up in New England type deal.
All
All right,
right,
what you got? What you
so
got?
hypothetical. Okay? Hypothetical. Magic comes about the Cleveland area, and Joe Flacco has a run similar to what Nick Foles did in Philadelphia. What are the Browns doing next year if that happens?
I think I don't even think he has to make it to the Super Bowl. I think if he makes it to the AFC Championship, they're having an open competition with him and Deshaun Watson.
Okay. So you're going
I
to
think that
rely
I,
on a
that
30, what's it,
that's
39?
30, 38.
38,
Relax. I
39?
want to see what has Deshaun shown you in Cleveland? Nothing. He has
You're
shown you
right. You're
nothing
right.
other than the Haslams were like, we'll pay you everything and
I
we'll
mean, he also
guarantee it.
he was 5-1 before he got hurt.
But he wasn't playing well outside of second half against Baltimore.
Okay, I'm just saying. I'm just put out there. He was
You
five and
gotta
one before he
I
got
think
hurt.
I think Kevin Stefanski is gonna have a huge role in his decision making, right? Because he did this very similar with Kirk Cousins, Case Keenum, like stuff like this, right? In Minnesota. Like this isn't something that, hey, you find me a quarterback that's pretty solid with keeping the football, and then you have Joe Flacco, who's a great deep ball thrower. Like this was, it fell into the Browns' lap that they were able to get Joe Flacco. And arguably, I'm personally saying, I mean, this isn't part of this debate, but right. I mean, Cleveland's the most dangerous team to Baltimore, in my opinion. Division rival.
No, no,
Yes. Yes.
disagree.
Joe Flacco knows John Harbaugh inside and out.
Great. Doesn't matter.
Mm.
There's a team up. If you go travel up the way a little bit, follow the lake,
Buffalo still has to win to get in the damn thing.
buddy. Come on now. They're going to be the number 2 seed. We already know.
Yeah, have you quit on your Miami Dolphins? Oh no, the ship has sailed. He's quit on them.
Buddy,
Week
look,
18, he's quit.
after Tyreek Hill's house went up in flames, God, I'm glad he's all right. I knew they were shot this week. They're done. Soon as I saw it, I'm like, dude, this is one of the Buffalo's fans, probably. They went down to Miami, threw like something in his house, little fire, scared him up a little bit. Yeah, they're done. They're done. Buffalo's winning it. Buffalo's gonna be the 2 seed, and they're gonna have to play. I don't know who the heck they're gonna have to play. Maybe the Colts.
Houston or the Colts, yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But yeah,
If
I
they
don't
get
want to be
Houston,
out on them.
if they get Houston though, that ain't no gimme.
No. I don't think Houston's really gonna be able to get in.
You think Colts beat Houston on Saturday night?
Is it Saturday night? Where's it at? Houston or
I think
Indianapolis?
I think it's in Indy. Let's see. Let's hold on.
I
No,
don't
no, I
know,
got it
but
right
I'm
here in
like
front of me.
excited for both
It's in it.
teams.
It's in Indy. It's in Indy.
I'm
Winning, you're
excited
in,
for both.
baby.
Yeah, I'm excited for both. Like, if the Colts win, I'll be like, yeah, good for Shane Steichen, like Gardner, slinging the rock a little bit. But I think if Texans get in, they could go up to Buffalo or go down to Miami and potentially give them a little scare.
Right.
Right? Right?
Oh,
So
without question.
I'm gonna actually, you know what? I'm gonna go with Houston. Houston go win that game.
Yeah. All
Yeah, what
right.
do you think?
All
What
right.
do you think?
I also have the Houston Texans pulling it out. I think
Okay.
quarterback play is the difference.
All right.
And I
Um,
I don't know what type of Gardner Minshew I'm gonna get week in, week out.
all
All
right,
right,
that's
so what
fair.
was your, what's your take on, let's go back to Cleveland. What's your take if Flacco makes a run?
I mean, you can't get rid of Watson. Like, you have too much
Oh yeah,
money.
no, you're stuck with him.
I think like it would just be like, yeah, it's great, Joe. Like, I appreciate everything you did. Same thing with like what Nick Foles is. Like, great, that's what you did. But
But you're still gonna be the backup on this team.
yeah, like honestly,
Or
like
do you
maybe
think
there's
or do you think he swan songs it and says, all right, I proved a point to everyone that I can still play this game. I'm good.
correct. Like that might be it, and he might go somewhere else. Like, let's think about what Foles did that year and ran. Well, the starting quarterback was Carson Wentz still, and they
For
were never
sure.
gonna they were never gonna be like, oh well, now it's Foles' team, right? Even though all summer that's all it was oh, Foles is taking over the starting position, even though it's a completely different situation because Carson was playing at an MVP level at that point. Deshaun Watson hasn't really been on the field at all.
Right.
But so I understand like we're talking, but you're talking about like a 38, 39-year-old guy. Nick Foles was like 34, 33 at the time. Like, all right, he probably had a couple of years maybe still left in him. Like, I don't think Flacco's got much left in him. Like, this is all he's got. Like, that's it. He's done. Let him ride it off, and he might just ride off into the sunset. Truthfully, you
Oh,
know what I
totally.
mean?
If they somehow win the bowl, oh yeah, he gone.
He's running off. He's running the sunset. But yeah, I don't think there's much to it. There's no really discussion. It's like, hey, thanks, Flacco. I appreciate everything you did. You don't have to. If he makes the Super Bowl, I'm saying, you won't have to buy a beer in this town ever again. And sayonara. You know what I mean? That's it.
How much of a swan song would it be if Joey Flacco, AFC Championship, goes into Baltimore and says, "Night night, Lamar.
Wow, it's a bomb.
I still own Baltimore."
It's a bomb. It's a bomb to Amari Cooper. That would be incredible. That would be incredible. All right, so real quick before we get to our last game here, let's talk about some play-ins and play-outs. Who's in, who's out for you, right? So
Sure.
teams that are in so far, AFC, Ravens, Dolphins, Chiefs, Browns, they're locked in already. A couple of them are sitting. Ravens, Chiefs players, and Browns players are sitting because I'm pretty sure they're locked in 1, 3, and
They're all,
5.
yeah,
But yep.
they're stuck there.
Dolphins, they got a spot. They're not the 2. They're at the 2 right now. If they win versus Buffalo, they stay at the 2. If they lose, they drop down to the wild card spot.
That's 6, and they're going to Arrowhead.
6, and they're going to Arrowhead. Correct. So Jaguars are sitting right now at the 4 seed. If they win, they're in. They win the AFC South.
Yep.
They play Tennessee. Do they beat Tennessee?
Is it still unknown if Lawrence is playing this week?
He was limited in practice, I was told from my sources.
I believe Jacksonville will get it done. I just don't know what you're going to get out of Tennessee week in, week out. You just don't know what you're going to get.
I agree.
And if Ryan Tannehill's back there, I'm definitely taking the Jaguars.
I agree.
And Will Levis, I'll give them a puncher's chance.
Sure. I also agree. I think the Jaguars will win it. I think, and then they'll lock up the AFC South for since the second or third year in a row now. Second year in a row now. So I think Doug Peterson will have another home game once again in the AFC.
Duval County.
Yep. Then the 6th seed up for grabs right now between the Dolphins and Bills. Who you got winning that game?
Yeah, I got Buffalo winning that game. I think like we've been kind of preaching this last couple weeks that we've been on that nobody wants to touch the Buffalo Bills at all. No one wants to see them. And Josh Allen's on a bit of a burner. I mean, they kind of had a fluke game this past week against New England. I don't know what the heck happened there, but they gave up the opening kickoff for a touchdown. I felt like they were kind of checked out and kind of said, all right, this is a gimme that we're going to get. And then they had to really fight for it, right? And New England gave them the game in that first half, throwing 4 interceptions. I don't know how Bailey Zappi was able to stay in the freaking game, honestly. But no, I got to take Buffalo. I mean, Miami, they've shown it these last couple weeks that like against these top teams, especially in the AFC, they're not up to snuff. They just aren't.
Yep.
Haven't been lost to Kansas. Did they lost to Kansas City, right? I think they lost to Kansas City in Germany, or did they beat Kansas City in Germany? I can't remember. I don't know. But last week's smacking that they took kind of might have ripped the sails out of them.
Yep.
So we'll see.
No. I'm going Buffalo as well. I think Buffalo wins this game. I think they're just rolling right now.
And if Buffalo has to win, if Buffalo loses, they're potentially out.
Correct.
Because I've got Pittsburgh beating Baltimore on Saturday with Baltimore playing nobody. So Buffalo loses, they fall out of the playoffs entirely, and Pittsburgh gets in.
Is that the case?
Yeah, I was reading it.
Okay.
If the Pittsburgh-Baltimore game is the first game, because then it throws the playoffs into absolute chaos.
Gotcha.
Because if Pittsburgh loses, right, then Buffalo's in. I think they're automatically
then they're just playing for the 2 or the 6.
Right.
Correct.
But then if Pittsburgh wins, they need a Buffalo loss or a Jacksonville loss to get in. So that makes everyone else on Sunday, they got to win.
Figured that, yeah. And then that other game for the 7 seed and potentially the AFC South, depending on what goes on with the Jags. We think they're going to win. Texans, Colts. I mean, I'm rooting for the Texans. I think that's what a lot of people want. I'm not going to be upset if it's the Colts, though. Not at
Yeah.
all. Definitely be
Great
happy for them.
story. What a great story if the Colts somehow sneak into the playoffs. It
Yeah,
actually it's a great story either way. What
correct.
both of these first year coaches have done with their football teams, incredible.
Correct. Correct. All right, let's flip to the NFC side real
Okay.
quick. Lot of teams locked up. Niners, Cowboys, Lions, Eagles, Rams. All those teams locked up and in. Niners, I think, are resting everybody. The Cowboys,
Still got to play for the two
they
seed.
still need to play for the 2 seed, correct? I think the Lions are sitting.
Lions are
Um,
stuck at 3. Yep.
Yep, I think the Eagles are gonna play-ish. I've heard, but we're supposed to have some snowy weather up here, and they're playing in New York at bad field already to begin with, so they might potentially. I've heard sit players, and they might just suck it up and play as the 5 seed because the Cowboys got Washington this week, so kind of not to shoot you in the foot, but an easy win, they would think. And then the Rams are also sitting a lot of folks because they don't really care if they get the 6 or 7 seed. Because either way, Cowboys and Lions, they say, I don't really care. I'm going in. I'll win them games. Biggest one of them all, NFC South, up for grabs 4 seed. Bucks right now are leading it. Got Carolina this week. Very similar situation to what the Jacksonville Jaguars have playing the Titans. A lesser opponent. Don't really expect too much from that side. Could the Carolina Panthers shock the Bucks and
I
Bucks
think
lose
that
the NFC South?
I mean the way Tampa Bay looked last week, I mean, I can't write anything off. That's how bad they looked. I mean, you can't write it off. I mean, I'd be stunned. Like I would actually have my mouth would drop if Tampa Bay somehow choked this away. Like you have 2 weeks in a row to kind of lock up this division. And now, hey, I mean, Carolina, the one thing that I will give Carolina credit is that they don't quit in their games. They're every time they're like 10, 14 point dogs every time they walk into the building. But like they still show up and compete. They're still gonna play Bryce Young. They're still gonna play their guys because they have pride on the line, right? And divisional opponent games always kind of tweak things, right? You know that team a little bit better than everyone else. So you know what kind of works, what doesn't work. Then you don't know which type of baker you're gonna get on the other side, right? And like you've been honing this all year. If Tampa Bay can't run the ball, this game's gonna be tight. That game will be tight if Tampa Bay cannot get Rashad White going on the ground. But
So
I
is
do have
Tampa
Tampa
winning?
Bay winning. I got Tampa
You got
winning still.
all right.
Tampa in a close one. I think it's going to be sneaky tight.
All right.
I don't think they will
Panthers.
blow them out.
Panthers are getting the dub. They're pulling it out. Atlanta beats the Saints, and Atlanta makes the playoffs as the 4 seed. We're going wild. It's gonna be incredible.
Is that
We're
your
gonna
heart talking or your head talking?
both. It's both.
Heart. Both.
All of them. All of them.
He's speaking it into existence.
All of them.
Carolina's pulling it out.
Carolina's gonna pull off the improbable. We win the game. We're gonna be the 4 seed. We're taking on the Philadelphia Eagles in round one of the playoffs. It's gonna be
Yo,
incredible stuff.
that's a that's a winnable game the way Philly's been playing.
Yeah, no, we're gonna get smacked. We're gonna smack. Um, and then 7 seed right now is the Packers, with the same record as Seattle and the Saints as well. Obviously, I just said the Saints are going to lose, so they'll be out of
I
it.
also have Atlanta winning on Sunday, so I think the
Okay.
Saints will be out.
Do you think the Packers will beat Justin Fields in Chicago, or you think they?
I I think Chicago wins this game.
Okay,
They are.
that's fair.
I mean, that game is honestly the hardest one to pick because both teams are rolling right now.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah. It's fair. It's gonna be a divisional
I
matchup.
think the home field matters. It's in Chicago, right?
I
Or is it in
believe it
Lambeau?
is. I believe it is.
I think home field matters in that one. Oh, it's in Lambeau. All right. I think actually then the Packers will get it done.
Okay. Um,
I think if it
I
was in Chicago, I'd take the Bears.
I think the Packers lose that game, and I think Seattle wins theirs, and Seattle's going to sneak in, be a 7 seed.
Crap. I don't know what type of Seattle you're gonna get though.
They're playing Arizona,
Arizona just cooked Philly.
bro. The Eagles are shot. They're dead. They're so dead right now. It's incredible to hear.
Yeah,
You gotta
how's it feel over there? Let's talk some. I just want to get some. You're out there close to the Philly area. What's the scene like? Are they mourning out there in Philadelphia at
They're
this?
talking about firing Nick Sirianni right now. Yeah, that's what they're at right now.
Oh my God, I love
Yeah,
Philly fans.
dude, it's unbelievable. Like it is like I would listen to the radio when I'm driving in the work, like the sports talk, and they're talking about firing Nick Sirianni. I'm like, the guys made the playoffs. They're 3 straight years now. Made the Super Bowl last year. All right, yeah, you guys went on a little bit of a skid over the last couple games, but like, come on now, like fire Nick Sirianni? I don't know. I mean, they do got to do something to their offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. Like, I do agree with that, but like, also like you're missing your cornerback one and Darius Slay. They still don't have a linebacker, and their defensive line, their rush defense went from a top 5 unit through like the first 8 weeks, and is now the 31st defense since then. Like, how do you get like that? Like, something
Yikes.
happened. Um, I don't know, dude. It's astronomical to hear here. Like, it's just wild. Like, I just listen to it. Honestly, I just laugh. Like, I just laugh because you got Jalen Hurts, who's a phenomenal quarterback. You got plethora of wide receivers,
Right.
great run game, offensive line is the best in the league. Like, defense, like you got some great pass rushers. You don't have linebackers, fine. Darius Slay will come back. You guys will be fine. They'll win the first game, and hallelujah, we're going back to the Super Bowl, and that's just what it's going to be. So,
I love it. I love it.
all right, let's get to our last thing. I gotta share this screen. I gotta
Oh
figure it out
boy.
again.
Oh boy. Can he get there?
So we'll do that. Share,
Oh
and then
boy.
we'll,
Uh 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 uh.
of course,
Oh.
Family Feud. You know how it is, Blaine. I got no music for you. Bum,
It's
bum. Oh,
time to play Family
there you go.
Feud.
Thank you, Blaine. This is an NFL edition, so
I'm gonna fail
it's
again.
it's a little different, but it's gonna be first question is gonna be who's the leaders in NFL for TDs? Oh, this is receiving. I apologize. I didn't write the word receiving because I was trying to get it done quick. Receiving TDs of the 2023 season.
I'm so fucked.
Yeah, you are screwed. Let's begin here. It's top five. So I wanted to know if you could guess the top five. Go ahead, buddy.
CD Lamb,
CeeDee Lamb, that is correct. He's number 3 at 10 TDs, tied with somebody at 10 TDs.
Puka Nakua.
Puka Nakua, the rookie phenomenon, is not on the list.
Ah, shit. I thought he was a layup.
All
Tyreek
right.
Hill.
Tyreek Hill, the cheetah, is number 2 at 12.
Gosh.
I
I
will
got some.
say the first one is a little difficult, but not terrible. The last two I would have never guessed that they have this many.
Are they all receivers or is one of them a tight end?
Yes. They are all wide receivers.
Shit.
One,
Sorry, America. I need to stop my swearing, but the heat of the moment gets to me.
the first one is a certified guy.
Uh,
Fourth one is I just would have never guessed him.
Brandon Ayuk.
Brandon Ayuk, San Francisco 49ers is incorrect.
God.
Like, you got to get at least 3 out of 5.
It doesn't look like I'm gonna get 3 out of 5.
Come on now. The
AJ
last
Brown.
HG.
Did I get
Oh,
that wrong?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
fine. Number one answer,
gonna,
death, taxes, and 1,000-yard seasons, Mike Evans.
I should
Number
have guessed that.
four.
The man,
Number
he's
four.
had like 10 touchdowns the last 3 weeks alone.
Come on, that's on you. You should have known that.
No, I will
Number
take.
four. Number four shocked me here. Broncos country. Let's ride. Cortland Sutton.
Wow, I did
Yeah.
not know he's had that good of a year. That's a
Yep.
sneaky good year.
I agree. Didn't expect it either. And number five, a rookie wide receiver,
Oh,
not
Is
Puka.
it Jackson Smith and Jigba, isn't it?
It is not Jordan Addison.
I wouldn't have got that. All right, I should have gotten Mike Evans. I wasn't going to get the other two. Jordan Addison wasn't even on my radar.
I know he wasn't. All right, let's get to the next one. I hope this shit works now because I only checked it on the first one. So, NFL rushing TD leaders of 2023.
God. Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts, number 3, 15 touchdowns on the season. Good for him, man. Ain't that incredible?
Ain't that incredible? Josh Allen.
Josh Allen, same thing. 15 on the season. Rushing TDs, number two answer. Blaine, you might be able to go at least 4 for 6 here. At
Christian
least.
McCaffrey.
Christian McCaffrey, number 4, 14 TDs on the year. Incredible season by the young man.
All the rest are running backs, right?
They are all running backs, yes.
I got the 3 layups out of the way.
I thought the number 1 was pretty easy too, just because the man literally just has been scoring touchdowns on touchdowns on touchdowns.
Trying to think here. Trying to think running backs. Running backs.
Take time, folks. This is incredible here.
Kyren Williams.
Kyren Williams. Wow. He is tied for 6 with David Montgomery. Good pull. I didn't think you were going to get him, but good pull.
Yeah, I've only done Kyren Williams because he helped win my fantasy league for my brother. So, and he was been rubbing it in my face that he got the dub because of Kyren Williams.
Man was incredible season by him, second year, and will be the starting running back hopefully next year in 2024.
110%. Let's see.
No X's on the board.
Gus Edwards.
Wow, that was the pull I didn't think you were getting. Gus Bus Edwards 13. That's an incredible pull. Incredible pull. All right, number 1. I thought this was the easy one too.
My God. Thank you, freaking dum-dum.
Gus Bus. Wow, what a pull. That was the one where I'm like, I don't know if you're going to get him.
Yeah, that one I just kind of pulled out of left field because I was thinking, oh, Raheem Mostert, Miami.
There it is. Raheem Mostert at 18. Blaine with a perfect.
Perfection. Let's freaking go.
Family feud. All right, Blaine. So we've done rushing TD leaders, receiving TD leaders. What do you think I'm going to do next?
Passing TD leaders.
Wrong. That's incorrect. We are going to be doing passing interception leaders.
I hate you. I actually hate you because you know Sam Howell is number 1.
Sam Howell, number 1 at 19 interceptions. All right.
I actually hate your guts. This is just a straight jab to the heart.
Yeah.
Josh Allen is on this list.
Number 2, 16 INTs. All right.
Gosh, now I got to think. Who's thrown a good amount of INTs this year?
I was shocked, actually, about number 3.
I feel like Jared Goff is honestly on this list.
All right, so he is, but I don't, because I want you to name them. He is number 5 at 12, but there's 4 of them tied at number 5, and I want you to see if you can name all of them at number 5. But
okay,
he is at number
Jared
5.
Goff is on the list.
Correct.
Is Matthew Stafford on the list?
Matthew Stafford is not on the list, so that's going to be an X.
Okay. I'm trying to think of gunslingers.
Gunslingers, yeah.
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones is also tied with Jared Goff at 12 INTs, so he's sitting at the 5 spot. You got 2 more in the 5 spot right now. 3 and 4 open.
Mm, 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 mm. I've got
We may have stumped him, folks.
every person. Jordan Love.
Jordan Love is incorrect.
He had such a rocky mid stretch. So I was like, are the other two like pretty blatant?
3 and 4. Three, I was shocked. Good quarterbacks. I'll tell you that.
Nah, I'm not gonna get this then.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm shocked. Actually, all of them are pretty solid quarterbacks, I would say.
outside of Mac and Sam.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I would say they're solid quarterbacks.
Um, hmm, Pittsburgh's quarterbacks don't play enough. Too much of a rotation, so I'm not gonna say Pittsburgh. Uh, I, I'm just gonna have to throw one out there because I don't know. Dak Prescott.
Dak Prescott, that's incorrect. That is three X's. Blaine, thank you for playing Family Feud today. INT leaders. Number three, one that shocked me, Jalen Hurts.
See,
Jalen,
I didn't even have him on my list.
I didn't think so either. I think because of the running aspect, but
Yeah, because you're
14,
thinking touchdowns, total touchdowns, not.
correct. 14 INTs on the year.
That's impressive.
Number four, he has had a down year. Patrick.
Patrick's
No,
thrown 14.
14 INTs on the year.
See, I feel like, and probably I could almost say 8 of the 14 probably, or at least half are from a drop pass. Like I probably don't. I honestly, my brain probably didn't even count it. So I was like, even if he's got some INTs, it's probably just on his receivers anyway. So.
And then, so you got two of the ones in the five slot, which was Jared Goff and Mac Jones. The other two was Trevor Lawrence and Tua. At
I thought Trevor Lawrence had such a bad 2 weeks that I was like, maybe he's there. I didn't know Tua had 12.
yeah, Tua 12. I mean, you got to think
Those are
they do
that's top. Those are top tier quarterbacks mostly on that list,
correct. Yeah,
outside of two
correct.
of them.
Correct. Yeah, like
That's
but you
ironic,
got to think how much they're throwing the ball, right? Like they're
right?
throwing the ball a lot, probably more than most teams and not, and it's gonna happen, right? That's just what happens. It's the inevitable there.
Fair
Um,
enough.
I don't know. Did you see the video of Tua putting the camera on his helmet and him like looking through the line?
No,
Did you
I
get to see
haven't.
that? So they're on Hard Knocks right now. So he actually ended up putting like a GoPro on his helmet
Okay,
to give like the fan perspective, like what it looks like behind these offensive linemen. I couldn't see shit.
really?
Like it's bad. Like when you get a chance, when we get off, like take a look on Twitter. They got a 2 minute video of it. Like you can't see anything. Like these offense, like you could see like in between their helmets, but
That's
like
absurd.
it's wild, and you're just kind of guessing where these guys are, and they slinging a rock, boom, boom,
Boom. And now,
yeah. So good stuff. We're gonna next week we'll be back. We're gonna be talking playoffs because we'll have all 1 through 7 seeds locked in, ready to go, given our prediction. AFC,
well,
NFC,
no, go ahead. Sorry, I cut you off.
AFC, NFC, talking who's gonna make the Super Bowl, who's winning the Super Bowl, and I can't wait to talk because now is when the NFL season really kicks off now. So
It's
that
the
wild
witching
card
hour
weekend.
of the NFL.
Oh my God, it is. The wild card weekend, man, is why the wild card weekend is like just below week one of the NFL for me.
Yep.
Just below. Like week one, when we get there, I'm like, yes, I am here. Wild card weekend's like, yeah, that's it. Like that, it's just right below it, right below it.
Hmm.
Um, So I'm excited. Hopefully, we'll get some really good games. Hopefully, we'll get some really good matchups. and we'll get all into the breakdown next week here on Final Whistle. So, Blaine, any last words?
Go Dogs. We'll talk some Natty too.
That's a good one. I forgot about that. So, all right, guys, as always, take it easy. Have a good night. Have a good morning. And y'all stay safe.